ויאמר אבה נעבור אלייך כי לא ידע כי כלתו. How do you say it? I'm not sure.
Ki kalato he. You see there's a vowel underneath it? You see the dot? Right, exactly. So he turned off of the road towards her. Rashi says he turned from the road which he had been. Vayomer, and he said, Hava navo avo alayach. He says, I want to be with you. He didn't know she was his daughter-in-law. Vatomer, and she said, Mati tenli ki tavo elay. What are you going to pay me? So Rashi says, what it means, Havana? Prepare yourself and your frame of mind for this. Okay. Next, Pasuk Aryeh. You want to read it? Right. So he said, I'll send you, because she's saying, what are you going to pay me for the privilege of being with me now, sexually? And he said, I'm going to send to you a Gedi Izim. Now, this Gedi Izim, what's a Gedi Izim? It's a goat. We remember that Jacob brought the goats to his father Isaac. That's how he got the blessings. We remember that the brothers took Joseph's coat and dipped it in the blood of a goat. And now Judah himself is promising a goat. It's the oldest trick. And she said, well, you claim you're going to send me this goat, but give me an eravon. What's an eravon? A pledge. What's a pledge? Until you send it. What does that mean? What? A pledge is a promise, but it's something more than that. Like collateral. Do you know what that means? It means, let's say, like you have to give me something. Like, okay, you owe me $1,000. Oh, okay, you don't have it on you, so almost like your watch. Well, yeah, not you're lending, but you're giving me a pledge, right? The car. So fine. So you owe me $1,000. I say I'm lending you $1,000. You give me something to hold on to until you can repay the money. So she says, until you send me that goat, give me something to hold on to for you. Make sure you're going to pay me. Rashi says it means a mashkon, a security. Okay, go on, Noam. You read the next one. Vayomer. No, Vayomer Ma'ay Ravon. The next pasuk. Hey boys, how you doing? Amazing. This is one of the greatest days in my life, because this is the day I finished the 12th Torah and started the 13th. That's how we're really going to celebrate with donuts. It's going to be such a beautiful day. And also Noharai is leading Marav. I'm very excited about that. It's very, very special. Okay. So he says, what is the Ravon that I will give to you? Okay, what page are we on? Tell Judah and 211. So she said, what's the collateral you're going to give to me? No, he said it. He said, what do you want me to give to you as a pledge? So she said, give me your chotamcha, your seal. They used to have a special ring with a seal on it. Uftilecha. Tilecha is your clothing. Patil is like a corner of a garment. So your garment, matacha, your staff that's in your hand. Give me that. Basically your ID. I want your ID. And he gave it to her. And then he was with her, and she conceived by him. She got pregnant. Not what he was expecting. Presumably, the normal prostitutes knew how to not get pregnant, but she wasn't a prostitute. She wanted to get pregnant. So look at the Rashi. Rashi says the iskatrach v'shoshifach. Tabat tachotemba, your ring which you seal, and your garment which you cover yourself. But in essence, Judah was giving away his garment and his ring and his staff. Judah was in essence saying, I'm giving away everything. He's giving away his identity just to be with this woman. So, and she conceived. Rashi says she conceived by him. She conceived mighty ones like him, righteous ones. Eventually, you know who's going to come from this union? You know, eventually will come from this union? Aryeh? Are you raising your hand? Oh, you know who comes from this union?
David.
What?
David.
Okay, Deborah says it. She's correct, 100%. David HaMelech ultimately comes from this. All the kings of Israel, because the Davidic line is the kings of Israel. They all come from this union eventually, 10 generations later, or 7 or 8 generations. Yeah, Aryeh.
So like even
Of course.
but when if you also like urges to be important about because isn't nowadays that sexual urge more because of the also
So you're asking, did they have a inclination? Well, first of all, it doesn't say it's so prominent. This is the first time we have such a, and we already had idolatry that they got rid of. But the truth of the matter is, that idolatry. The reason why were Bnei Israel always rushing to worship idolatry? What was so attractive to them? That idolatry in biblical times was associated with sexuality, with sexual sins. And Rashi talks about the Torah talks about it that it was like a cult where they worship their God by doing this like sexual behavior with the as part of it. So that's why they had this desire for it. It wasn't just bowing down to a idol. It was the whole environment, which was so exciting and attractive. You know, when I was, does anybody remember like maybe a year and a half ago, they had these encampments on the college campuses, all the Palestinian supporters. So they had one at GW. And I, not of course, but I went to raise a voice against them. So anyway, I went into their thing, and I see like all these kids had no idea what was going on, but there's a whole environment that was so attractive to them. They had like the people banging their drums, they had the living out in the tents, like camping out on the street in their tents, the boys and the girls. So it was like a whole environment. It wasn't just that one issue. Yeah. So, okay. So now, Judah, it's your turn. So now Tamar has gotten pregnant from Judah. Now it's Judah's turn to read. Verse 19. Yud Tet. Latakam. Telbash. So Tamar had gone undercover to disguise herself as a prostitute. So after she got pregnant, she got up, Atakam, Vatelach, she left, Vatasar Tzifamila, and she removed her veil, and she put back on her widow clothing. There were special clothing she had to wear as a widow, so everybody knew not to be with her. So now they think, soon they're going to discover she's pregnant, then they're going to think she was adulterous because she wasn't allowed to be with another man until she married the third child. So that's what all these problems are happening. Here, Aryeh, read the next pasuk. You'll see what happened. Yeah. Right. So Judah sent the goats. We sent the goats in his friend's hand, the Adulamite, to get back the pledge. He said, "Okay, give her the goats, get back my identity, get my seal, my staff, my coat, give it back, give it to her, and let's take it back." And he couldn't find her. Obviously, she didn't want to be found. Okay, no arrive, Bakasha 21. Yeah, Noam.
Who was the Adulamite? Like someone he would trust that much to kind of like
Right.
protect his reputation.
It's a very good question. Who is this friend? He only appears in this. He only appears in this chapter. He doesn't appear anywhere else in the Tanakh. And also, it's the first time in Tanakh that the word friend appears. Until it's the first time, and you have to love your friend like yourself. So this was his. In politics today, they call it a fixer, somebody who, when you're out like a problem, a scandal, you send this guy out to fix the problem. So this is the guy who was the fixer. Yeah.
Noises coming from the bed.
What noise? I didn't hear anything. No, I don't hear anything. No, that vent over there, it opens out to the window, so it's the wind. No, it opens out to the air. I don't know why. Yeah, go on. Right, exactly. So he asked the men of the place, saying, Ayeya Kadesha. The word Kadesha is a word for a prostitute. Ayeya Kadesha. Where is this prostitute? He by Nayim al She was at the crossroads. And they said, Lo Kadesha. No, there is no prostitute here. The word Kadesha sounds like the word Kadosh, holy. Exactly. So Rashi points out that Kadesha means Mikudeshet umizumenet liznut. It means she's designated, prepare for a specific action. For znus. Znus is like this sexual sin. Okay. So he can't find her. Go on. Now, Noam, read. Okay, so she vanishes. So he returns to Judah. Vayomer says, I didn't find her. And also the people of the place say she's not there. Okay, go on, Aryeh. Right, exactly. So Yom Yehuda, Judah said, Tikacha, let her take it. What am I going to do? Let her keep my staff and my thing. Penny alavuz, because if we keep going on, we're going to be a laughing stock. Everybody's going to see Judah's looking for the prostitute. It's going to be embarrassing. I sent her this coat. What do you want me to do? I send it to her, I can't find her. I mean, I'm an honest guy. Rashi says, Tikachla, let her take what's in her possession. Penny Lavus. If you're going to keep asking, you parse him, whatever, the matter will become public. And it'll be a disgrace. Because what else can I do to live up to what I was saying? And he said, behold, I sent her a goat. And Rashi says, because Judah tricked his father with a goat by dipping Joseph's coat in the blood of a goat, also she tricked him with a young goat. Eitan, good to see you, Eitan. I love it. I love it that Eitan's here. Okay, so now who read last? Are you? Okay, no, right? Wait, well, tell Eitan what page you're on. 211, Eitan. Okay, go on. No, right? Vayehi? Kimishlosh? Okay, excellent. You see, so now we have to do a little bit of explaining before I read the verse. That since Tamar was technically, she had been married to a man who died, she was technically married to the next brother, even before they did any action. And so she wasn't allowed to have adultery, even though he didn't consummate the marriage. So so it was Vayikim Mishlosh Chodashim, so it was after 3 months, even though Judah had refused to give the brother to her as a husband. So it was complicated. Let me just read the verse. And it was told to Judah saying, Zanta Tamar Kosecha. Tamar is pregnant. And so she must have committed adultery. She's committed adultery. And so Judah says, she's adulterous. Take her out and burn her. Take her out and burn her. So Judah wants her to be burnt because he thinks she committed adultery. Yeah, Aryeh? You got it? Okay, so let me read the Rashis. 3 months is when Rashi says the greater portion of the first month and the greater portion of the last month of the first trimester and the entire middle month. So okay, fine. After 3 months, he says she became pregnant. Okay, fine. And take her out and burn her. So the Tana Ephraim Maksha says in the name of Rabbi Meir, why was she being burned? Should have been stoned according to the Torah. No, because she was a Kohen, because she was the daughter of Shem, and so therefore she was supposed to be burned. Okay, so now, so she's being brought out. Yeah, the question, Noam?
Are you allowed to punish a woman who's pregnant?
Yeah, if she's adulterous, you kill her with the baby inside her. Yeah, you kill.
The baby's fault.
Yeah, I know that's a good point, but that's the law. You kill her right away, and if she has the baby inside her, so that's proof that the baby's not alive. That's one of the proofs that the baby's not alive. It's an excellent question. If a pregnant woman commits a murder, you give her the capital punishment, even with the baby. It's a proof the baby's not alive. Right, I know. So it's just a spiritual idea. He didn't realize it. He didn't realize this. Where Judah? That's what they did at those times. He said, take her out and burn her. In the later Torah, but at this point, this was prior to the Torah being given, so they said burn. Well, look what happens now. Go on, Noam, read this. He
Yimotzeit v'hish shalcha el chumia lemor leish asher ela lo anochi harav atomer aker na lami hachotemet v'haptilim v'hamateh ha'ele.
So she was being brought out. I'm sorry, are you? No, she didn't. No, she didn't. Look what it says. Just the opposite. No, she was being brought out, and rather than her saying, Judah is the one who made me pregnant, she sent to her father-in-law saying, she sent him the stuff. She sent him the ring, the staff, and the garment. She sent it to him saying, to the man whom these belong to, that's who I became pregnant from. And she said, look at them. Do you know where this ring and this garment and the staff are from? So, and also, by the way, the words hakerna, she says to him, is the same word that the brothers in Judah used to Jacob when they dipped Joseph's coat in the blood and showed it to him and said, recognize this. Do you recognize this? So here he's saying in the same way with Rashi says, she was being taken out to be burnt, and she didn't want to embarrass him. Why didn't she just say, the Gemara learns from here a very important lesson. The Gemara learns from here in the Masechah Sota 10b that she didn't want to embarrass him. She could have said, it was Judah who made me pregnant. But she didn't. Rather, she sent it to him and she said, if he'll admit it on its own, let him admit it. If not, let them burn me. And I will not embarrass him. And from here we learn, the rabbi said, it's preferable that a person throw himself into a fiery furnace, but that he not embarrass his friend's face in public. So that's why she was going to allow herself to be burnt before she embarrassed him. And she says, Hakirna, please recognize, Eina Lashon Bakasha means a request. She was saying, please recognize your creator and do not destroy 3 souls, because it was Tamar and she had unborn twins inside her. There were two twins, and there was twins in there. And so she's saying, please save us all. And now the next part is one of the reasons why Judah is selected, why we are called Yehudim, and why is Judah selected as the leader? Because the next words is what separates Judah from every other brother. Look what she says here. Judah Stein, read this pasuk. It's one of the most famous in the whole Torah. Vayaker Yehuda. So Judah recognized her. Tzadka mimeni. She is more righteous than me. So exactly. So Judah said, she is more righteous than me. Judah admitted it. He could have saved himself. Could have saved himself embarrassing and allowed her to die, but instead come up with some other excuse, but he admitted that he was wrong. He says, Tzadka mimeni. She is righteous. From me she became pregnant. And because I didn't give her to Shelah, my son, and that's why she did it. And he was never with her again. So, and a rabbi said, a heavenly voice went out and said, Mimeni u'meiti, from my very self to this happen. It was I who brought this about, because she was modest in her father-in-law's home. Therefore, because she was so modest when she was in Judah's home, I decreed that the kings would come out from her, and from the tribe of Judah, I decreed that kings would be established in Israel. So God set up this whole thing, Rashi says. And he says, because she acted correctly, because I did not give her to Shelah, my son. And he never was with her again. But Rashi says some means he was never with her again, and some said he did not stop. He continued to live with her like husband and wife. Okay, fine. But actually, now that I finished my Torah, I noticed that my knees are hurting. I didn't notice it the whole time I was writing, because I sit there in the same position writing. No big deal. It also could be from jogging on the treadmill. Which do you think it is? You think so?
It could be both.
No, that's a worse answer, because I could give up the jogging, but I can't give up the Torah. I could change my position, but all right. Whose turn? Arya, your turn to read the next pasuk. Well, this is a very important verse too. 27. Vayhi be'et. By the way, I got some scary news here. The donuts have not shown up. Somebody text Kobe. I'll text him afterwards. It better be here. Where's Kobe? Could be a disaster. If Kobe doesn't show up with those donuts, now all of YouTube knows that Kobe was the one getting the donuts. What? No, he would never do that. I called him up at 3:00. I'm going to say, leave now to get the donuts. He goes, I'll leave in 5 minutes. Kobe? Okay, fine. But he can go on. Okay, she was about to give birth, and behold, there were twins inside her. Rashi says, and by Rivka it says she lived her days of pregnancy. So, no, how you doing? Here she gave birth early. B'nei Tomim, behold, there were twins. But above, the word Tomim is, here it's written with an extra aleph, but above it's written without it, because by Yaakov and Esav, one of them was righteous, one was wicked, but here they were both righteous. Okay, go on. One more pasuk. Eitan, you read it. Chavchet. Vayehi. Oh, this is a very this is some pasuk. Okay, go on. The opposite of what happened with Yaakov. Go on. Vayehi b'lidita. Right. So she was giving birth, and one of them stuck out his hand, and the midwife took it, and she tied a crimson thread on it, saying, "This one went out first." So that's the whole question. How do you determine who's the eldest? Do you go by? I wonder what American law is today. Do you go by who's by which body part comes out first, or is it by the? Does the Gemara say that? The Gemara discusses it by animals. I forget what the Gemara says by the twins. But I'm curious. I'm going to call my mechutin. He's an OBGYN. I'm going to ask, or actually, you know what? Why don't we just put it into chat? Who's got the Grok or the Gemini? I put it in and ask them if when twins are born, how do you determine which one is considered the eldest? Yes.
There's a good analogy. Person puts their bag first to the terminal, the airport. They typically get their bag last because they're there. It's the same principle with when a woman's delivering. Whoever comes out first is typically not the eldest.
No, I don't think it works like that. I think whoever comes out first is the eldest. Maybe that's what Rashi says to say that the one who was conceived first comes out last, but that's questionable by science. But anyway, let's see what I mean. I like the thought process there, but let's see what American law says. Did you find that out already?
Interesting.
Whoever, yeah, but what if the hand comes out first and then